Alright guys, so I'm back up in the same location that I was up here yesterday with Casey and Todd, and schedules permitting, we're planning the three of us to come back up next weekend and camp and stay the night up here. So I decided I would come up today and spend a little bit of time just trying to get an area for me set up. Now, it's not my intention to set up a natural shelter like what they did. I basically am going to use my oilskin tarp, but I do want to set up some framework for it so that way of when I come up here, it's just pretty much just throw it over the top and tie it down and be done. And one of the things that I have found, you know, especially winter camping and coming out and trying to video for you guys, is I just run out of time. And when I've got all these ideas in my mind of things I want to do when I get up here, but I run out of time trying to video it, and then what ends up happening is I don't get my camp set up the way I want it, and I end up kind of having somewhat of a miserable night. So I'm going to try to avoid that by just getting some of this stuff done today, so that way when next weekend when I come up here with Casey and Todd, if, like I said, if schedules permit, I won't have so much, I won't be running around, and I'll have a nice camp and hopefully a very enjoyable time up here with them, and an enjoyable night, you know, sleeping, because I won't be, you know, miserable because I don't have a good camp. But we'll get started. I've got two trees here that I'm going to work with. These are going to be the base supports. I kind of picked this location because between these two trees it's somewhat flat. It's not perfect, but it is somewhat flat through here, and there's some trees behind me that offer some natural wind protection, and then it kind of goes up a hill behind there, and then there's a hill that goes up over here. So if I have my tarp and kind of have it down, I should have pretty good wind protection coming from this way, and then I'll set out my fire in front of me and my fire block, you know, there. So let's get started. Okay, so I've cleared this area. I limbed up these trees a little bit. The next thing I want to do is there's a tree down over here on the ground that I want to cut to length that I can tie between these two trees, so that way I have a solid ridge pole. So that's going to be the next step. so what I'm doing here is I'm just quickly tying off the tarp just temporarily. I just kind of want to test this to see how high my ridgepole is, to see if I need to adjust it up or down before I go ahead and securely tie this ridgepole to the trees. Okay, so I've got this set up. The tarp is set up. As you can see, it's, you know, sagging really hard, bad right now. And the reason why is, like I said, I'm just temporarily setting this up. This isn't, I'm just going to actually take it down right now and pack it back up in my pack. So I'm not staying out here tonight. I'm losing light really fast, and there's just no way I'm going to get enough stuff done here before it starts to get dark to make myself comfortable and have an enjoyable night out here. So I'm just going to try to get a few more things done, and the next thing I'm going to try to do, now that I'm comfortable with the height of this ridgepole, is I'm going to go ahead and get it secured. So we'll get on to that next, and I think that will probably be it for today, and I'll have to start thinking about packing out of here because it's going to start getting dark on me. Okay, so what I use to tie this up with is some twine called sizzle twine. It's very similar to jute twine in the fact that it's a natural fiber, but you can get a bigger roll. I found that you can buy a whole lot bigger roll of it than you can buy of jute twine, and it seems to be a bit stronger material to me. And the reason why I like using a natural fiber like this is if I never return or come back out here again, this stuff will just rot away, and this whole setup will just basically become, you know, fall down and just become part of nature again. Alright guys, so I'm packed up, I'm ready to head out of here. I didn't get quite as much done on the shelter frame as I'd liked, you know, it just constrained some time. It was kind of a last minute decision for me to decide to come out here today, and I didn't get out here till a little after noon. And with the filming and everything, it just makes it really hard for me to, you know, get much done very quickly. So, and I didn't really want to push myself and feel under pressure the whole time, so I kind of took my time too. But when we come back up here next weekend, you know, if everything permits, we'll come back up here next weekend. We'll get a little bit more done on. We'll get more done on this, and hopefully get finished with it, get the shelter set up, and then we'll start working on the fire area and get that set up. And I'm hoping to get, you know, the shelter area set up and the fire area all set up by end of next weekend, and that will be another video. And then we can start doing some other projects here, and that was kind of the purpose of this camp in the first place. Is I did a video earlier in the year, or late last year, I guess, late last year since we're in the new year, about deer hunting and woodcraft, and I built a little table, and there was a lot of interest in how I built that and wanted to see more in-depth videos. And that's kind of the purpose of this camp, is I want to get all this stuff done so that way I can just come up here, throw up my tarp, be pretty much ready to go, and then we can kind of play with and do some other projects like that. And that's going to be kind of the theme of my channel here, probably through the dead of the winter. Just kind of coming up here and doing some type of little woodcraft, bushcraft type project, and then, you know, once we start kind of getting more into spring and summer, then I want to start getting back into, you know, backpacking. There's some mountains I want to climb that are on my list. Backcountry fishing, I did a little bit of that last year, and I definitely want to do a lot more. I bought a float tube, and I want to get really into getting into some of those remote lakes and doing some backcountry fishing. And, you know, of course, hunting is always high priority on my mind. I've got a whole new area that I want to scout this year for my week off of elk season that I'm really excited about. So there will be videos on that. So there's a lot to come with. But like I said, for the foreseeable, for the winter part of the foreseeable future, we'll be doing a lot of woodcraft type bushcraft stuff in this camp. So I hope you guys will look forward to that, and I will see you guys in the next video.